This episode is sponsored by Bluehost. You're an ideas person, and when inspiration strikes, it strikes fast. Shouldn't your web hosting keep up? When shared hosting isn't enough, Bluehost's advanced solutions scale with your website, business, and your ideas, no matter how bold. With NVMe storage, built-in security, and enhanced CPU power, sites load faster and handle more data than ever before. Bluehost's advanced hosting keeps you online and growing. So go ahead, keep those ideas flowing. Shop plans now at bluehost.com.
Some people build agencies, some people build hosting companies, and a rare few somehow build both at the same time while also helping businesses hire people, scale marketing, and keep WordPress sites fast enough that nobody sends angry support tickets at 2 a.m. You're listening to WP Legends, where we bring the builders, operators, and ecosystem leaders shaping the future of WordPress and the modern web to the mic. I'm Gautam Khurana, host of the show. And today I'm joined by Markus Kramer, founder of HostPress, a managed WordPress hosting company based in Germany that has quietly built a strong reputation around performance, reliability, and customer satisfaction in one of the most quality-focused hosting markets in the world. But what makes Markus especially interesting is that his story goes beyond hosting. Alongside HostPress, he's also built businesses in recruiting and marketing, including Job Social and Five Marketing, giving him a unique perspective on how hosting, digital growth, performance, and business operations all connect together. And honestly, Germany might be one of the toughest markets to succeed in hosting because customers expect speed, stability, privacy, compliance, and a lot more. Today, we're going to talk all about that and why performance and trust matter more than flashy marketing, and what the future of WordPress hosting looks like in 2026 and this AI-driven web. Markus, welcome to WP Legends.
Hello, Gautam. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the introduction. Yeah.
It was great to host you today. And before this call, I was having a very good recap on hostpress.de. I must compliment you and your team on the branding, how focused it is, the UI, UX, etc., and the pricing. We'll talk about that, but I just wanted to give you a quick compliment to you and
Thank
your team.
you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so let's go back 10 years. I believe you're coming up on your 10th anniversary. Is that correct?
Yeah, this year we are celebrating our 10th anniversary. We are doing a big party here in our region. We are inviting all WordPress fans all over the world, no matter where you come from, but I think most of them come from Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, to celebrate with us. In the day event, we are doing a WordPress only event. It's nothing about our anniversary. It's like a big WordPress party where there are a lot of speakers doing WordPress and AI focused presentations. And in the evening, we are doing a birthday bash.
Awesome. And I believe that because German beer is the best in the world, needless to say, there'll be like endless flow of pints.
You're right. You're an honest man.
I am happy and jealous at the same time, so wish you the best of luck for all of that. I'm sure it'll be great. But I am surprised that it's been 10 years. I have been in this space for almost 10 years, like 8+ years. Okay. Of course, you're German focused. Is HostPress German focused, like Germany focused, or some parts of Switzerland, Austria also?
We are focused on all clients who wants a very high specialized, fast performing WordPress hosting with a good service and with data privacy made in Germany. Yeah, but to be honest, our main clients come from Germany and then a lot of Switzerland and Austria, but mostly German speaking countries. Yeah.
I hear you. I am curious to learn today that our European customers, especially customers in Germany, for example, do they care deeply about privacy, data sovereignty, compliances? Are there any laws specifically that have helped you amplify your growth? I would love to understand that.
I think the German customers, they have a very high focus on data privacy and on doing businesses inside of the country, because I think it's important that you have people you can talk with in the same language, for example, or in the same time zone if you can. But also we are doing a lot of business with companies from all over the world, so no matter. But our customers, I think they come to us because they want a hosting provider who does the heavy part, doing the maintenance of the servers and stuff like that. And our customers want to reach out to us in their native language and in
Hmm.
their business hours. And that's a big part of the story. And also, the data privacy is in Germany is one of the highest in the world, I think so. And
Hmm.
we are doing a lot about that, keeping everything clean inside the house, and starts with only own server hardware and all data centers. Only people who are in our group can access them and stuff like that. Yeah.
Interesting. And so people actually come to you and they say, is your infrastructure based in Germany? Is it European infrastructure? But do customers ask you that when they come to you?
We have it very transparent on our website, so I think you don't have to ask it. You can see it.
Okay.
But yeah, of course, sometimes people send us very big formulas we have to fill out. That's a typical German thing. You want
Hmm.
to keep everything signed,
Hmm.
and that we do a lot, especially for very big clients. They want to know exactly what's going on, where
Okay.
we are located, what we are doing, and in a technical way.
Got it. So you started Five Marketing, which was your agency 12, 13 years ago. And because of website marketing, I'm assuming because I own an agency, also co-own an agency, and people sometimes come to you, hey, can you host it for me? Can you just manage all for me? So you started hosting for customers on some other servers initially, or did you buy hosting from somebody else? If you go back
Yeah.
12 years.
As we started the agency
Hmm.
13 years ago, I already had a part business
Hmm.
and already had some hosting customers, and
Hmm.
always relied on other hosting companies doing that. And more than 10 years ago, I
Hmm.
realized there is no very good German-based hosting company for WordPress hosting.
Hmm.
The problem always was the servers of the company were very fast, but
Hmm.
there was no host WordPress specific support. Or you had small companies who said, "Hey, we also can do a little bit of WordPress support," but their hosting setup was worse. And then after 2 years of trying out every company I know in Germany, I said, "Okay, we do it on our own," and then we
I hear
started
you.
founding Hostpress. Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. But how did you, so your initial 100, 200 customers were basically most likely your agency customers. Is that
Yeah,
correct? Initially.
We build it
And,
out totally of the cash flow. There's no investor inside Hostpress, no money from the bank. We totally
mm,
built Hostpress out of the cash flow from the agency.
amazing, amazing. It is tough. It is tough. We host also, but we recommend people now. Like we didn't want to get into the hosting infrastructure sector because we have partners, we work with the hosting companies. But honestly speaking, it can be tough sometimes, because as a host founder, like, website goes down. Now I heard there was a cPanel security incident also. Everybody's scattering about that,
Pray to
right?
God we don't have cPanel, but it can happen with everything you use. Yeah.
I've heard like crazy stories on LinkedIn, etc. People nightmares, support tickets through the roof. Hosting companies have. I think now that situation is resolved already, but I believe for a few days it was really bad, right?
What I read on LinkedIn and other blogs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So you are managed WordPress focused, but I saw also other offerings. But safe to say that 80% of your customers are managed WordPress. 80%
Yo,
customers.
we offer 100% managed hosting,
Hmm.
specialized for WordPress,
Hmm.
and our support goes on underneath the WordPress backend. So if a client comes to us and says, "My WordPress site is slow," why? We say, "Hey, we check why your site is slow. What's the matter?" Most of the time, it's
Hmm.
some plugins
Hmm.
doing heavy load. If a client comes and says he has a problem, an error reporting in the backend or something like that, we check it out. The only thing we don't do
Hmm.
is agency services. So we
I
don't
see.
do any design, any coding or stuff like that.
I see.
But what we do as an optional service, the client can use it if he wants to, is a highly specialized managed update service for WordPress.
Okay.
So you can do it on your own. You can say update all. You can also activate the automatic update service. But to be honest, if you have a big site, a professional site, you never should do that. You
I see.
always should have someone in the team doing
Of
the
course.
updates in a you have to prove it after doing it if everything works fine, and we do that as a managed service.
Got it. Now AI is changing everything. AI is changing how websites are built, optimized, maintained, you name it. WordPress and the Cloud Code connector is also there. So let me ask you this: how do you think AI is going to change your business or in general hosting businesses? This question is I'm going to ask now every hosting
Hmm?
company person I'm speaking with now.
I think AI is doing a lot of thinking about how you do your hosting business. To be honest, there were a lot of hosting companies in the last 20, 25 years who did only very basic stuff. Only, hey, here's a server, here's this space, do it all on your own. And with that, you cannot compete anymore in the future. Um, for small sites, you don't need WordPress. If you just want a landing page or something like that, you don't really need WordPress. You can do it with every AI system or something like that. But to be honest, we are focused on clients who say, hey, we want a partner in the back. We don't want to do it all on our own, because you can do it if you want to, but if you are focused on doing your business and spending your time as a CEO or as a sales guy in your business, you don't want to deal with pushing any cloud things to any cloud and stuff like that. You just want to have a partner in the back who is responsible for managing your WordPress website at the hosting part. And I think for our special needs, yeah, of course, there will be some clients switching from WordPress to an AI solution, of course.
Yep.
But I don't have that sorrows about that as, for example, a mass hosting company with doing $1.99 pricing a month for hosting, $1.99, so $2. They should concern about that, because they have nothing where the client says, oh, I stay with that company because they're doing such a great service. For $2 a month, you can't do a very great service, because how would you pay your staff? And our support, of course, we also got AI assistant support, but that's only 10% of our tickets. We do 90% of our ticket support with our team, with our staff. And that's what our clients are feeling if they contact us.
That's cool. And I think, I'm actually on your site right now, and I think what you've done very well is managed services. Did you start managed services from day one, or did you start like few years ago? Like you offer malware cleaning, server white labeling, troubleshooting for any issues, etc. And it's very fairly priced. So have you been doing this for many, many years?
Yes, most of them were included from the beginning. For example, the troubleshooting in WordPress level, or the malware cleaning. What started let me think, about 6 years ago was the managed update service, or 7 years ago maybe. And but we are very specialized in WordPress things. Yeah, you can come to us and say, I want you to benchmark my WordPress website because I got a big campaign, an online campaign. I'm expecting a lot of traffic. Can you please do a benchmark of my site and tell me how much traffic it can handle?
I like the fact the word is everybody uses the word managed WordPress, but what truly is managed? What you're saying right now, I think that truly is managed, because end users, somebody running a cafe, or somebody, let's say, who's a lawyer, running about, giving legal advice to people, etc. They don't want to go into their website. They just want their website up and running. And if they want to reach out to somebody, if they, let's say, want to change their team page, or add a new PDF to their website or something, or something went wrong with the site when they were just working on something, etc. So I think that's truly managed. It used to be just about security and performance, maybe, but now it's become a lot more. Would you agree that managed has gone beyond that?
Yeah. For example, we are doing a free migration service for every new client, or for the website, and also for his email inbox. So if there is a lawyer and says, hey, I got a WordPress website at a cheap hosting company, I'm not happy with their performance, with their support, whatever, we say, okay, no problem, just book a plan on our site. We migrate your website, we migrate your email inboxes, including your emails, and you can do your business. Just keep being a lawyer.
Yeah,
that's what we do. Yeah,
that's interesting. In your experience, what mistakes would you say hosting companies usually do when they're trying to scale? Because you've scaled in the past 10 years all on your own. You've seen the worst and the best of every single thing. So what do you think, what do you think, what mistakes you have made, what lessons you have learned? Let me ask you that.
When you start from day one, I think the biggest mistake you can make, just talking for my own, is offering cheap prices. Because if you scale, you need people in your team, and the people cost money. And if you start with low prices and you're doing everything on your own, okay, you say, yeah, we got it, and one client, two clients, three clients. But if you scale, you come to a level where you say, okay, I need an employee, and then it starts paying out if you have good prices or cheap prices. And we started from day one with good prices. In 10 years ago, people did shitstorms on social media. We started with doing ads because they say, "Oh, you're too expensive. Oh, I only pay €2 and you want €25. Who think you are?" And we said, you cannot compare us with what you are using right now. What we are offering doesn't exist right now in that way in Germany. So you have to try it out. And right now you can read on all review platforms. We got, I think, 600, 700 reviews. They are all positive because the people who come to us say, okay, I'm ready to pay that price because you give me a service like a concierge, which I don't get at another hosting company for €2 a month. And that was the first decision. That was a good decision. And then we started with cloud service providers. So we rent cloud servers from other providers, put our software on it, and say, okay, let's go. In the beginning, that's the typical way. I think most of the famous managed WordPress hosting customers rely on Google Cloud, on AWS, and stuff like that. So they never have seen a data center from the inside in their whole existence. The only thing they are doing is coding software panels or stuff like that. And we decided 7 years ago, okay, we don't want to rely on one cloud provider because we recognized if they have a problem, we have a problem. True. Because there were downtimes, all our servers went down. We called the cloud provider. We only were one of 100,000 customers of that provider. So they don't say us anything. They say, yeah, the problem is solved. Let's go. And we say, why the problem happens? How can we prevent it? Because our customers come to us every time your servers go down. And that was the reason we said, okay, we do own hardware. Okay. And the beginning was very hard and painful because if you try to do everything on your own, you get your lessons. But with every problem we recognize, with every downtime we had on our own hardware, we always can take a look. What was the matter of that downtime? How can we prevent that it's happening again? And to be honest, our pricing is if you totally rely on a cloud provider, you rent every new cloud server, the pricing is, your monthly fees are going higher and higher and higher. And if the cloud provider says, hey guys, we are changing our pricing 50% up, your margin is going down. And now we always have bought the hardware on our own. It's our servers. We decide the pricing. Of course, we have to buy new servers, to be clear, and the RAM pricing is going up. Yeah, but we are not not relying on other providers anymore, and can do our own business and can do the best service for our customers.
Got it. And that's why you're able to also offer a lot of things whenever you want, whether it's WP Rocket, Immunify, data replication, stuff like that. I've noticed that on your pricing page. That's why it's really fairly priced. I would say that.
No, thank you. I also think we have a very fair pricing if you know what we can do for you. Yeah.
I think for somebody, whether it's a freelancer agency or a solo website owner, whether it's a multi-site, single site, doesn't matter. Spending like a couple of €100 a year for your WordPress website, which can bring you $100,000 or $1 million euros worth of revenue, like why would you compromise? It doesn't make sense. right? That's right. And I believe you have that philosophy also. And that's why you have not offered shared hosting, right? You've never offered shared hosting, or have you in the past?
Yeah, our single site and multi-site plans are based on a shared principle, but it's built with a system where each client is fully isolated from
I see.
CPU, from RAM, from everything. So it's not a real shared hosting because no single client can overcommit the resources he has, and yeah,
And
the
somebody else's
other.
hack and malware cannot affect that
No,
person's malware
no,
under any
never,
circumstances.
yeah,
Got it.
never ever happened. And right from the technology we're using, they say it cannot happen. And a lot of our clients are using our managed server products.
Got it. Got it. Now let me ask you a fun question. 10 years coming up. What's in store for the next 10? 10 is difficult. 10 is difficult. Let me, okay. 3
Yeah,
years.
yeah, no, yeah,
3 years.
3 years. Yeah, that's fine because yesterday we had a big conversation in the team. What can we do until our birthday bash? It's in about, let me think, 4 months, and we will totally overthink our pricing plans and our how we offer it to the clients. We will go a totally new way, which I have never seen on any hosting company right now in the world. And I cannot tell too much, but I think we are going a little bit more away from the classical hosting plans to a very, very user centralized plan building. So a normal website owner can see our plans and says, "Oh yeah, I'm that one of guy. I'm that guy. I'm that guy." And right now he comes to our plans and has the typical questions: CPU, RAM. It's a lot of technical stuff, and we want to keep that technical stuff low and the showing our customers the added value we provide as Hostpress. And that added value is more than disk space and stuff like that. It's our team in the back.
Yeah, I think that's what people want now. That's why people are ready to pay extra price, extra money for that. I think that's why, that's the difference between good and great hosting companies. And in this market, when I see so many mergers, acquisitions, consolidation happening, you've been seeing it also. So I believe the ones who will persevere and not, I won't use the word survive, but grow exponentially will be the ones who have this kind of an attitude. Would you agree?
Yeah,
customer service, taking customer service to the next level, I would say.
I also think so. That's important to keep your business alive, because otherwise you can be switched to any other company.
I went on this SaaS company thing online a couple of days ago. I needed some help with some, JS stuff, whatever. Person said, "Okay, cool. We will open a ticket." I said, "What's the live chat for?" And I was pretty sure that live chat is, outsourced somewhere. I don't know where, maybe Philippines, India, whatever. But basically, the live chat person was just there to say hello and bye. What's the and this is happening a lot nowadays. Okay. And I think if I could get even 75% of the answer, or even if that person had knowledge or to go through the knowledge base, direct me to that particular thing in knowledge base, would have been better. But I don't understand why people don't do it. It's just incredible, that the pain is not taken and it's still there in 2026 age of AI, that you find a person on live chat, but that person is there to just say hello. I'll open a ticket for you.
Yeah. I don't understand why a company is still doing that. What we are doing is, in our live chat, you can open a ticket by email or by live chat. It's your decision, or you can give us a call. We got real people in the office. They're going to the phone.
A lot of people want that.
Yeah, there are technical engineers, so that are not only we have no call center. But if you open a live chat, we always got AI first solution. So our AI get only one try to provide the solution to the customer. If the customer says, "No, that didn't solve my problem," the ticket is directly escalated to a support engineer.
That's good. That's good. I think what happens is like reaching to the right person or thing or whatever, that's become very, very annoying. Like when I have to rebook a air ticket online, okay, is a nightmare, right? Sometimes
Mhm.
you have to go through 15 questions on a live chat to even reach the right button, so if it's
Yeah,
one or two, it's okay, which is standard, you're used to it. But 15 or 20, and I'm seeing this more and more now. And
yeah.
I really really hope everybody can change that.
Yeah. I think the age of AI agents is
Mm.
really coming. Yeah.
What if you mentioned the word AI agents, what tools are you working on personally?
Personally,
Mm.
I'm trying to solve analytic problems or with AI agents.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the past, Excel sheets and doing filtering stuff and that, and right now I can take the Excel sheet, the spreadsheet, and put it in AI and get a very clear view of what's going on.
I agree. I agree. Claude, for example, is incredible. Like, I've never been able to use Excel formulas, Google Sheet formulas in my life. I don't need to now, and don't
Yeah.
need to use
Now you don't
anymore.
need to. I did it. I did it. Now you don't need to.
One second,
Yeah.
one second. But one
It's
second.
crazy.
Do we even need an Excel anymore? We can tell AI to create a visual dashboard and feed us in a
Yeah.
visual graph, and make it pop with music and stuff like that. Do we even need an Excel file anymore?
Yeah, it's crazy. I read an article this week. We got a very big marketing event in Germany. It's called OMR. It
Okay.
was this week in Hamburg, and there was a presentation, and I think from an engineer of ChatGPT, or a leading engineer of them, and
Hmm.
he said we are in the age of MS DOS right now in the AI. So we are
Ah,
just at the beginning.
I like
What
that.
we are seeing right now is MS DOS back in the days. And that's I think that's really crazy, and that's the truth.
I like it. I like the terminology, and I think I agree because it's only 2026. We have been exposed to Codex, Claude Code, etc., for maybe 6 months to 1 year, 1.5 years, etc. You're right. It's just a start. What happens in 3 years from now? Right now, Claude is Opus 4.7. What happens when it becomes 5.9? Or what happens when ChatGPT 5.5 becomes ChatGPT X?
Yeah, it's going very fast. You get a Claude update every day if you have the software open
Every
on the
day?
left.
Every four
More.
hours? Every 4 hours?
Yeah.
Relaunch to
Okay.
update. Relaunch to update, right? You're talking about that, right?
Yeah, I heard about in the Silicon Valley they are doing 7 days a week. I think 20 hours a day. They are working all night long in the Silicon Valley to provide stuff like that, like Claude and software.
I think it's more. I might change the name of this podcast to AI and coffee or something like that. Because if things are evolving so quickly. So WP Legend started out as like a WordPress focused and hosting focused podcast, but then I speak with people in the domain industry. I'm speaking people in providing solutions to I had somebody from Recent.com the other day. Fantastic piece of software for email marketing with just API and stuff like that. Like, so much is happening, and thanks to APIs, usually when you were creating something, sorting out something with API used to be tough, and you still had to find a developer to do it. But
Yeah.
now, if you have Claude Code Max Plan and unlimited usage enabled, you can do whatever you want, right?
I think you are doing advertising for Claude, so you have to do
Oh
in
yeah.
the video. You have to do it's an advertising
Listen, these
video.
these these puffy eyes are there because I'm living in Cloud Code more than Google Chrome. I'll tell you, and shut up after that. Okay, I will shut up after that. Is because I'm so excited about this because I'm in sales, marketing. I could travel. I can sell websites. I can sell hosting. I can sell any other thing you want me to. Headphones, you name it. Okay. One thing I could not do in my life, coding. Okay, and now there is no excuse. It's like this toy has given me to me. But still, I've realized one thing. I speak with a lot of coders, engineers, people in this industry, etc. You're right about the MS-DOS part. I really love it because I believe still you need a lot of critical thinking to execute. You cannot teach that. You agree, right?
Yes.
That's tough.
Yes, I totally agree. AI is just a weapon, but you have
Mm.
to pull the trigger. And yeah, you never should use AI without thinking with your brain,
Yeah,
because that
it's not
can
about
be a really big problem.
Yeah, it's not about you're going to be burning credits and wasting time. It's just that it won't solve anything otherwise. That's the only issue. So I believe the MS-DOS terminology is really cool, and I will tell my marketing guy when we post out this podcast to make sure to start with that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I also
Anyways,
like it. I just read about it on the OMR festival. It was a ChatGPT leading engineer who said that.
yeah, and before we come out of time, I need to get back to some parts about hosting, okay, and HostPress again,
Yeah.
because there's one thing which I'm very curious to learn more and more. When I speak with hosting company founders and people in the hosting space, managed WordPress space, etc., is caching. Okay, so I'm going to bring this topic up more and more. Have you? I have personally struggled with till yesterday, last week. My team struggles with it every week, every day. What are your thoughts about caching? Is it underrated, overhyped? How can we truly figure out a way to resolve that? Especially because we work with hundreds of customers every single week. You know, so is there a way to resolve it in any and for a lot of my audiences who are still learning about this, can you explain caching in your own words?
You mean page caching for websites?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think you should never run a WordPress website without caching. Never, never,
Okay.
ever.
Okay.
Because you are the website is getting much faster in the loading times with a
Mhm.
page caching plugin activated, because the output of the server is saved in a HTML file on the server, so you don't have to ask the database for the answers. I don't want to get too technically, but
Mm.
also you are saving CPU resources on your
Mm.
server. So if you
Mm.
have 1,000 clients and all 1,000 of them have no caching activated, each request to the website is affecting the CPU usage. If
Mm.
you have 1,000 clients and all have page caching activated, no request is going to the CPU, and
Mm.
that saves you a lot of money for the hardware. And but the main thing is that's also because we became so good in what we are doing is we used page caching from day one. We
Okay.
relied on WP Rocket from day one.
Mm.
We are, I
Mm.
think, the first really reselling partner of WP Rockets since 10
Wow.
years
Okay.
now.
Mm.
And yeah, we said we need a good solution because clients, visitors want fast websites. If you think about Google, Google has become famous, and in the age everybody uses Yahoo because
Mm.
Google was so fast. That was
It is true.
crazy in that times, and
True.
that's what we are doing for WordPress.
Yeah. WP Rocket is an incredible solution. We use it also. I can proudly say, like, I swear by it. My team can swear by it. It just works. It's so snappy. You install it and it just works.
Yeah,
Very,
yeah, it
very
works out
rarely.
of the box. Yeah, yeah, it's not too technical, but it has a lot of features you can use.
Yeah, so you guys partnering with them and offering that is incredible. And what advice would you give to somebody, whether it's a small agency or any customer, to prevent malware, which is a huge problem in WordPress even as of today? Of course, you can install Immunify. You have offering, then we have Patch Stack, and we have other solutions, etc. But obviously, change your password. Don't keep it admin123. That's the most important. But in your
Oh, thank
words.
you, thank you. I have to change it after that call. Yeah.
But what advice would you give in general, to prevent malware, especially because so many people still struggle with it every day in and out?
To be honest, we don't have that much cases with malware because I think we have highly specialized customers and they are doing a lot of updates on their own.
Mm.
If you start with WordPress by scratch right now, I would
Mm.
advise activate auto updates from the beginning so you
Mm.
don't have a website 2 years old and have to do updates since
Mm.
2 years you haven't done.
Mm.
So that's my simple advice. It
Mm.
can be crashing a website, of course, as I already said in the beginning.
Mm.
But better you have one time a small crash and can restore a backup because of your
Mm.
update is going to crash. Then you have a malware infection, which is, for example, getting your customer data out of the website, using your email server for sending spam email, getting your domain on a blacklist or stuff like that.
Mm. Got it.
But
Got it.
all aside of that, I always would tell you use a malware solution who does a
Yeah.
malware scanning every day or have an active malware infection prevention. So if a file is uploaded, it's in real time scanning that file and stuff like that. There are a lot of good solutions on the market. We are using Immunify 360.
Awesome. That's good to know. Now, one more thing which I would like to understand is because I get this a lot. I get a lot of LinkedIn DMs about it. I get a lot of messages on my YouTube about it, and it's from agencies. Okay, agencies are, for some reason, a lot of agents are looking to switch their hosting provider. Okay, now it could be for a lot of reasons, but one of them is customer support, which we have already discussed today. Another one is because website speed. Now, website speed is not a responsibility of a hosting company per se, or is it? This is something which I would like to discuss because I get this a lot. A lot of agencies are wanting to switch because their WordPress websites run slow. So, what would you say about that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. We also get a lot of new customers because the website speed on the old server is slow. To be honest, if a client of us comes to our support channel and says, "Hey, my website is slow," in 99 of 100 cases, the matter is not our server environment. The matter is in the WordPress site itself. And our job as a hosting company is to show that to the client that that's not our server environment, because a lot of clients come, "Oh, my website is slow. It's your server." Finger
Yep.
pointing.
Yep.
And we say,
Mostly.
"Hey," yeah, mostly. We say, "Hey, on the same server, there's another client. I will check his website. Oh, his website is very fast, so it cannot be the server. Let's have a look at your site." And there we got good tools to analyze that problems. For example, X-Ray is a PHP performance profiling tool from Cloud Linux, which is included in all our plans. And also the client himself can use it, but we also do it for the client. Then we can see which plugin is doing the heavy load, for example. And most of the times, the matter if the site is slow is one plugin, maybe sometimes a combination of more plugins, but yeah, that's it.
I think so. I think so. I can say to all of my viewers, especially if you are an agency and you're a growing agency, that 99.5% plus of the times is an issue with your WordPress plugins, plugin bloat, installations, heavy images, etc. And nowadays with AI, you can diagnose that problem. So I believe the things have become easier and faster. And even then, if it fails, then maybe it's a problem with the infrastructure of a hosting company. That's what I would say.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
this happens a lot. I think the education is there. It's just people don't know about it, especially new agencies, because new agency founders, they're just still learning and they're already under pressure to earn money, chasing in after invoices, retaining customers. So it's not their fault. I don't blame, because I was there. I was that agency. I was that solo freelancer 8 years ago also. So I've seen that pain. But now, thanks to AI, diagnose it, fix your WordPress bloat, plugin bloat, and I think you'll be pretty fine with your hosting company.
You can if you want to. Yeah.
Or go to Marcus. He'll give you a good deal.
Yeah, come all over, no problem. We got enough space for you.
And finally, tell me something. I think you kind of answered this. What's one entrepreneurial lesson, because you're bootstrapped, you've done everything on your own, that you've learned the hard way, because you're fully bootstrapped and you've grown this business on your own?
Trust the people you are let into your company, the employees. Trust your employees, and don't think you are the problem solver for everything. Teach your people how to solve the problems, because I got it in German. It's called Zeit verlieren, Zeit zu gewinnen. In English is lose time to win time. So I lose time if I tell my people how to do that on their own, but after that I win time. And I think that's one of the biggest failures all entrepreneurs are doing. If they get the first employees, they are thinking about themselves. I'm the god inside of that castle here, and I can do everything better than you and you and you. But I think that's the totally false way to do it. You always should, from the beginning, trust your people, give them the knowledge, say you can do it, you can get it, and if you have problems, come back to me. But I want you to do it. So your people are getting responsibility for what they are doing. And so I can sit here with you and doing an interview, and I know my people are running a business right now, and I trust them.
I agree with you 100%. I second that. I used to struggle with it a lot also, learning to let go, I think. But
Yeah, learning
that's
to let
really,
go. That's the right sentence.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got the spot on. On that note, thank you so much for being on my show, Marcus. It was great chatting with you today, learning a lot. I think I'm telling you, I need to, when I start doing round twos, it won't be the interview, it won't be the backstory. It will be like, what did we do 6 months ago and what happened in 6 months with Claude and Codex and WordPress? And by that time, WordPress 7 will be out, the new admin will be out, and I hope is a massive refresh. I was just speaking with somebody yesterday, and I'll end with that cool kids will be lost. Otherwise, the new kids on the block will be just using Next.js and Astro and other tech. They won't come to WordPress if it's not cool anymore. So that's one thing which I am worried about, but not personally, but I would say in general for the WordPress ecosystem as a whole. So I'm really hoping that WordPress 7 when this is about to come out, it really gets that coolness back into it. Thank you.
Yeah,
so
I think it's the thank you also for having me. And I think the last words, WordPress 7.0 is the biggest change in WordPress in the last, I think so, 15 years or more than that. So we are hoping it's a big
Yes.
problem solver for the industry of WordPress users.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Marcus.
Thank you also. Nice to meet you, Gunnar.